Thank you for your interest in Missouri's Special Education State Performance Plan and Annual Performance Report process. This is the complete list of SPP indicators. This presentation will cover Indicator 7 on early childhood outcomes. Indicator 7 looks at the progress that children make in three areas while they are receiving services through early childhood special education, or ECSE. The three areas are A, positive social emotional skills, B, acquisition and use of knowledge and skills, and C, appropriate use of appropriate behaviors to meet their needs. The data source is student-level data reported by school districts to DESE when children enter and exit early childhood special education. The outcome or progress made during ECSE is measured by looking at information for a child when they first enter ECSE and again when they leave ECSE. The information should include a variety of viewpoints, including observations by ECSE educators or service providers, input from the family, and assessment results. Using all of these sources of information provides a broad view of the child's abilities across different settings and situations. Ultimately, the ratings in each of the three areas describes the child's level of functioning compared to typically developing peers. The outcome data for districts and the state are summarized into two statements, and targets are set for the two summary statements for each of the three outcome areas. That means we are setting 6 sets of targets for this indicator. The first summary statement looks at the percent of children who substantially increased their rate of growth. This means that between entering and exiting ECSE, the child gained skills and narrowed or closed the gap compared to typically developing peers. The second summary statement looks at the percent of children who were functioning within age expectations by the time they exited ECSE. As you can tell from the last few slides, there's a lot that goes into determining the outcomes for children in ECSE. We are aware that the professional development on ECHO is overdue for an update. We are currently working on a series of 7 training modules for ECHO and will have revised forms and other technical assistance available in the fall and early winter of 2021. You can request additional information on any of these by sending an email to the address at the end of this presentation. This chart shows 5-year trend data and proposed targets for Indicator 7A, Positive Social Emotional Skills. The blue bars represent Summary Statement 1 and indicate that around 95% of children showed an increased rate of growth while in ECSE. The blue line shows both previous and proposed targets. For 2017 through 2020, the state exceeded the target by a little. The blue line for 2021 through 2026 shows the proposed targets, which remain flat since the state already had such a high percentage of children who were making good progress while in ECSE. The orange bars represent Summary Statement 2 and show that we have had a decreasing percent of children exiting with age-appropriate skills. We believe this decrease is due to better data quality rather than an actual change in the outcomes for children in ECSE. Approximately 70% of ECSE children continue to receive special education services in kindergarten, so we wouldn't expect all children to have age-appropriate functioning in all areas when they exit ECSE. That, combined with the training we will be rolling out soon, may actually decrease the percentages for Summary Statement 2 even more. Therefore, we are proposing that we make 2021 our new baseline year, decrease the targets very slightly for 2 additional years, and then bring the targets back up above the new baseline by 2026. There's a link to a feedback survey at the end of this presentation. Please let us know if you agree with the proposed targets or if you think we should go a different direction with them. On this graph, called a scatter plot, each dot represents one school district. The placement of the dot indicates the number of children who exited ECSE, which means they have complete ECHO data, and the percent of those children who had age-appropriate social-emotional skills when they exited ECSE. The red line represents the proposed target for Indicator 7A, Summary Statement 2. Each dot above the red line represents a district that would meet or exceed the target, and each dot below the red line would be a district that would not meet the target. The scatter plot gives an idea of the number of districts that would need to increase the number or percent of students exiting with age-appropriate skills in order to impact overall results for the state. The scatter plots for the other outcome areas are similar to this one, so we're not including them in this presentation. This chart shows trend and targets for Indicator 7B, acquisition and use of knowledge and skills. The blue bars for Summary Statement 1 indicate that around 95% of children showed an increased rate of growth while in ECSE. So again, we are proposing targets which remain flat since the state already has such a high percentage of children who are making good progress while in ECSE. The orange bars for Summary Statement 2 show that we had a decreasing percent of children exiting with age-appropriate skills. For the same reasons as discussed for 7A, we are proposing that we make 2021 our new baseline year, decrease the targets very slightly for 2 additional years, and then bring the targets back up above the new baseline by 2026. There's a link to a feedback survey at the end of this presentation. Please let us know what you think about the proposed targets. This chart shows the same information for Indicator 7C, use of appropriate behaviors to meet needs. Again, Summary Statement 1 indicates that around 95% of children show an increased rate of growth while in ECSE, so we are proposing targets which remain flat. And here again, the orange bars for Summary Statement 2 show that we have had a decreasing percent of children exiting with age-appropriate skills. For the same reasons as discussed for 7A, we are proposing that we make 2021 our new baseline year, decrease the targets very slightly for 2 additional years, and then bring the targets back up above the new baseline by 2026. There's a link to a feedback survey at the end of this presentation. Please let us know what you think about the proposed targets. The feedback survey also asks 3 important questions about improvement activities. Please help us identify what's working, what's not working, and what we can do to help improve results for students with disabilities so that the state and local school districts can meet the targets we are setting for the future. We need your feedback. Click on the SurveyMonkey link or use the QR code to go directly to the survey, or you'll find these indicator recordings and feedback surveys on the SPP APR Stakeholder Information webpage. Questions about this process should be emailed to speddata@desi.mo.gov. Thank you so much for your time and participation.